this last pick. It's also Dark into Oracle, which I really dislike. I don't think you're gonna get the most out of the hero. And every single time I see Faceless Void, if the enemy team is stubborn enough to not pick any kind of saves, I'm like, guys, you know, there's a Shadow Demon, there's Wyvern, there's Oracle, pick one. Like anything that, you know, stops you from dying. Game they have, and they also have another save, not during the Chronosphere, but Tusk, Dragonite, and Spectre, hard heroes to kill. They don't have anyone who who actually gets any kind of break. We're talking during the draft. I suggest possibly a Nyx Assassin as their position for the last pick, who has a break for Spectre, set up for Sunstrike kills. I don't think Dark Willow can achieve as much at position 4 compared to some other position 4 heroes.
Yeah, I like that panel that mentioning Venomancer like to build tanky as well. Very often going for utility items, you know, your Greaves, your Pipe, all this good stuff. So you can have 3 very difficult to kill core heroes on HR during that Chronosphere, as well as all the saves it's mentioning. Looking down at that bottom lane, Faceless Void. We've seen plenty of players go for, you know, ring of regen. Ace was buying up 2 rings of regen. How many rings of regen does a Void need against a Venomancer, Lacoste?
Garrett, he needs all of them. Like, this is a lane that the Void doesn't really shine playing against any damage. He always struggles. He has Enchantress as a lane partner. We'll see what kind of build Enchantress is going to go for. Like, I think in this scenario, you need to get points in nature attendance earlier on, instead of going for just, you know, straight up damage build. You want to secure the lane for your Faceless Void. There is skill potential coming up from HellRaisers, but for these 2 heroes paired up together, I don't think you can get a kill unless they overextend or until Faceless Void gets level 6.
Oh, King R having a difficult early game, being pummeled into the ground by DNZ already. Dark Willow just with a quick brambles there, bringing him low. This top lane from Tempo, it's always been a really nice go-to standard combo. The Centaur and the Dark Willow, as you've got Cursed Crown, Stomp, a lot of roots, stuns, plenty of damage as well. We'll see how they fare up against the Oracle and the Spectre with their sustain and tankiness. And in mid lane, where we see a pause coming out from Noob, Invoker has gone Exalt level 1. See if that continues. That'll be the direction. If it's going to be an Exalt game, as we have that Chrono, and like you said, they are lacking a bit of damage into the bubble from Void. Having Cataclysm or an early Aghanim Scepter here could be a huge boost for Tempo.
These Chronosphere will need to land early on so they get the kills, but we discussed, like, these heroes are really tanky, and they have decent chase potential. Whenever you're playing against a Centaur, you need to have heroes that, you know, can stun people, a lot of slows. It's not too good, but you know, against the Centaur ulti, but still you have a lot of slows. You have Tag Team Spectre with Dagger, Poison Stings. I think in this kind of game, Centaur definitely needs to buy a pipe. Against the Venomancer, they also have no saves. They only have 1 heal coming up from Enchanters, which I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, then shards as well. It's useful against that Stampede.
Yeah.
Dire's courier has been killed.
We saw a nice little play from a second ago, as DNZ actually sniping out a courier top. But the early Enchantress creep was dealt with very quickly by a tag team. Krill actually had to deny it. That early creep, though, it often feels like Enchantress needs to get something done with it, you know, usually harassing and trading hits early on. So LeBron losing that loses a lot of that potency in the early laning stage.
No, they can do it one more time. Block both of those camps. Venomancer going for a Gale build, so much more kill potential. Tusk only level 1 at the moment, but once he gets a point in a snowball or just ice shards to block people off, I think this is the lane to look for first blood, that's for sure.
Denied. Yeah, absolutely. Like, you're already seeing LeBron probably going to have to salve up in a second once the Gale has expired. Keeps the tangos going for now. But the camps continue to get blocked up, like you were mentioning. Observer Ward there and the body blocking from Tusk. Make sure that Enchantress has to go on a bit of a wander to find a creep. Going to be a big Satyr. That's going to keep you nicely topped up. Double ring of regen for the Faceless Void. Like you were saying, you need all of the regen.
And now with the aura coming up from Satyr Tormentor, extra 5 region, not sure why it's 5, but it is what it is.
It is. He's sitting at like 12 HP region a second. Shards and forcing LeBron back. And then this Gale and Poison Sting from Bonic really handling Krillat quite nicely.
Venomancer's harassing a lot, but you know, his CS is not the best. He has 6 last hits, 3 denies, faces void 10 and 8.
It's that continual applied pressure. But Lil with full HP, full mana with Shard tag team now. If they can focus down the Enchantress, get that body out of the lane, makes playing into the void much simpler. I think we can take a peek into some of the other lanes. You know, that's definitely going to be the focus early on. Mid lane, Invoker 14-3, evenly trading farm with a DK, as we'd expected. Dragon Blood against Quas, there's just no real reason to trade harass or battle with the opponent. Just hit creeps for the most part. Perfectly fine.
Denied.
And top lane, maybe kill threat here from Tempo. They've dragged this wave back to their tier 1, so they've now got a long lane to chase in. With Mitch, might be able to find something to play with, especially up against the squishy King or Oracle.
No, Sunstrike is available. One King Gar, will it connect?
It's going, it's going. Straight Edict, not enough. Just pure damage. Straight through. DNZ with that Shadow Realm, just the right click attack, enough to get the first blood for Tempo.
I know that.
Start there as Noob. Actually looking double null into drums. So no Hand of Midas for your Invoker. Go for some early stats.
He might still get Hand of Midas after the drums, just wants to, you know, not be that creep in the middle lane, have some extra mana sustain, 2 Nellies for extra mana region, and some stats as well.
On my watch.
Things pretty calm at that mid lane.
As expected. I mean, these two heroes don't really threaten a kill on each other, even if Dragon Knight gets level 6. I don't think you can kill Invoker. No points.
Sunstrike top. King R again, sniped out. Mitch with DNZ. Looking for all this early aggression with the stuns that they've got available to them. King R has to be much more careful with his positioning now. You die as the Oracle and you're leaving the Spectre alone in a 1v1 against the Centaur, who's just farming away, top of the CS board, and trading hits with you.
Another stomp on Spectre, no boots on her.
And they slow her down. Bramble Maze comes out, and the stomp out of range. Mitch is trying to close the gap, the body blocks in, the stock is there. With the Sunstrike, they'll bring down the Spectre slowly but surely. She turns the fight, but DNZ, he's alright. Tempo 3-0 start. All off the back of this Invoker with the Sunstrike.
I'm not sure why Oracle did not TP back to the lane. He's walking back. To plant some vision, a sentry, observer ward available. 2 observer wards, sorry, 2 sentries, but could not find enemies observer because there isn't one.
Yeah, there was one on the high ground all the way to the far right-hand side watching for couriers coming in. That's where the Radiant Observer Ward was, but now expires. DK with a DD room and a catapult. LeBron getting picked off bottom as the dive comes in. The Sunstrike misses, snowball out. Well, allow Lil and Funnick to escape after getting the kill. They put the Void up top now, just swapping the lanes completely around.
Radiant have
Tusk with 1-1-1 build. It's a lot of kill potential, but that build needs a ton of mana. Like using that combo is 250 mana and your mana pool is 320, so not the greatest. You need to have some clarities running, an extra mango always in your inventory. As you mentioned, Faceless Void is on top for now, so they're going to swap things around, try to get Faceless Void a better lane. He's level 4, Spectre level 5.5. I don't think he's going to get too much farm in this lane either.
Look amazing, but at least he's away from the Venomancer now. And I think Morbid Mask coming to him might indicate the Void going to jungle as they stampede bottom straight in as Mitch helps out Noob yet again, getting a Sunstrike kill. Funnick this time 1 to fall. Top lane, they're going for a bit of a dive. LeBron is on the enemy side, sharded and trapped inside, but the tree's there blocking him, and he's placed one down himself. So,
to my heart.
here for HellRaisers, but it allows Nyx next to close the gap. King off to finally snipe out the Enchantress.
Void might need to just jungle and completely bail the top lane, see what's gonna happen, and then adjust accordingly, go to the bottom lane or just continue farming the jungle. But 2 rings and Morbid Mask has enough sustain in the jungle. I don't think they can get a kill on this Faceless Void.
Oh, it's still going for it. Giving it a good old college try. Snowball forward. Purifying Flames being spammed out here now. 2 stacks up on the Void, but the shards again. Trapping Krill out with a Sunstrike there. Sniping Lil. Invoker getting involved from close range once more. 5-2. Score lead for Tempo as they bring numbers top.
I think the global presence from Invoker is giving them so many kills and kill opportunities. Smoke from Tempo. They want to get this Dragon Knight.
Yeah, the combo from Invoker, the classic cold snap. The Tornado Meteor, and slow down the Dragon Knight, but he's tanky. There's Borg, he's running back behind his tier 1, deafening blast. And Bronze Final Touch will clear him up, but Noob is trapped inside the shards. Little doing a great job there with the tower to help, and the Spectral Horn. Snowball forward. Noob is close to death, and Nyx will arrive. No
mana.
No mana.
A little bit of a miscommunication there. Spectre, yeah, she's dead here, very dead. So they just gave the 2 kills for nothing. Might even give another one on King R.
Yeah, they're chasing an Oracle, but DNZ, nothing left in his pockets. He's out of spells, all on cooldown. Invoker, 5-0-3. Hand of Midas is queued. They had a perfect start to this game. Sunstrike kills, good laning stage, 4K net worth.
He is involved in every single kill. 8 out of 8. And I talked about the build, like you get the drums, 2 null talismans, so you have mana sustain, mana regen, even Fated Brooch on top of that, and then you go back to Hand of Midas because what this hero needs is levels.
Upon scaling.
Oh, not a big fan of Venomancer, sorry Gary. Going for like 2 points in Gale, not maxing out Plague Wards. Because you have no tower damage if Dragon Knight is not there. But we can see Dragon Knight, a lot of overtime damage, keeping him alive.
They don't really have hit damage, not quite tower damage. Mitch is 12 HP with 1 charges, Stampede in, Krill out with the Chrono there, lands on Lil as the Meteor Sunstrike. Not going to do a great amount, Mitch has already fallen, and now the stuns onto the Invoker. They've been baited into this battle. Nyx is going to be the one to take the kill streak away, and the DK still surviving with a Terrorist there, EFD shoving back both Tusk and Veno. And Phonic gets 1 more spell out, but a 2-for-2 trade under that tower where you kill the 2 highest net worth heroes. That's super worth it for HellRaisers.
It is. Did Spectre get any of the last hits? Yeah, she got the kill on Invoker, so that's pretty big. 400 gold. Hand of Midas completed on Spectre. Let's see the efficiency. Ooh, 5 seconds. I mean, I'm gonna allow it. I'm fine with that.
But yeah, 700 net worth swing, now we're onto a 1k lead for Tempo. Spectre allowed to catch up a little bit. Still, in the bottom lane, you've got Venomancer. Back to your point about the old Gale and the Plague Wards. It's a little bit unusual, but I guess he's still going to get to that point where he's got the 4 points in Plague Ward as he'll max them out now. And Spirit Vessel, reasonably close to Phonic.
Even more overtime damage on top of that. They have no ways of dispelling things. They don't have any kind of saves, so it's gonna be very efficient item.
Dire Snow fortified their structures.
Dragon Knight trying to hold on to that mid-tier 1. Breathing fire on the creeps, but unable to drag aggro.
Dire's middle tower
Tempo just glyph it up. Looking for that early objective. Like Dragon Knight wanting that Blink Dagger to get even more instant initiation.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We often think about DK against heroes like Puck or Storm or Ember. Against the Void, equally as useful. You have to jump and stun him. Even into the Chrono, you've got the Dragon Storm going.
You just need someone to start a team fight. Tusk isn't really that hero. Like, you want to keep that to Snowball mostly for the saving abilities. And yeah, there's going to be an easy follow-up with the Spectre. Dragon Knight blinks in. Venomancer just setting a perimeter of the wards on top, defending the tower. I don't think you can do too much about it.
Those things aren't cheap, you know.
Centaur. Increasing his farm, now 1,000 gold saved. I guess towards Blink Dagger. You think Mitch needs to finish the pipe before going Blink?
They also lack initiation, so I'm fine with him getting a Blink Dagger first. And then he can swap back to fight. Also, Lotus Orb will be high value. They caught Venom, and they actually did not catch him.
Yeah, funny, you just try and walk away into the Sunstrike. No, not quite. They've got the stuns. Takes to bring him down, though. HellRaisers not really in a position to react to it. Spectre still down bottom. Has a haunt as the rest of the team going aggressively into the Radiant Triangle. Noob invis in the Ghost Walk, but they've got a stun on the Dark Willow, punching her up, and that's it. She's done. Tornado there. Noob is trying to cold snap up Lil. Shards won't get him to the high ground. 1-for-1 trade as the two +4s hand over their lives for each other.
I still think it's an okay trade. For HellRaisers, Spectre's farming on the bottom lane, not being all. Oh, it actually is 4k gold for Tempo, so no, numbers are not lying.
Good early start. Funnick showing top. The target that Tempo have gone on previously, but the backup is here. Blink DK. Level 3 tag team. Jump onto the Centaur and off they go. Shards trap him in with a good terrorize though. They've saved Mitch's life, at least for a couple of seconds. The Purifying Flames, not enough. And another dagger forward. And Spectre giving chase, haunting in aggressively, but Mitch is perfectly fine. Even has some salves thanks to that trusty shovel to fall back on.
Okay, two
doesn't
big
feel good to use haunt like that.
Yeah, it's on a level 1 haunt, so 3 minutes cooldown.
Dragon Form as well, 30 seconds till it's back. Tail on tower mid on the Radiant side under 300 HP. DK would love to go and finish that one off. It's a lot of space now for Faceless Void and Invoker. Level 11 on Noob. Relax, level 10. Go Mask of Madness into S and Y on the Faceless Void, it looks like.
Some tankiness, some status resistance so that he can't get bursted against these stun slows, so they're gonna last. Still struggling against the Venomancer. Wards are maxed out now, so the way they need to approach this is get a good initiation from a Centaur. He has his Blink Dagger being delivered right now, or he needs to use a Stampede and just run through the wards.
Beautiful scan. Whoever used it on the Radiant team just saved Krillat's life. Dire Obs Ward spotted him as he was farming that bottom jungle. Radiant get the scan to connect, and HR's move comes to nothing.
Even though Tempo has been losing most of their games lately, I'm very impressed the way DNZ plays. Like, he's been very stable.
Yeah, good position for him now as well, just sitting a little offset from the rest of his team, ready to counter-initiate. That Terrorize has been beautifully placed in the last couple of fights. As a Radiant Observer this time, scouts out the DK. Blink Stomp, Sunstrike, throw the kitchen sink at Xani. He pops his wand, but that's never going to save you. Noob there with an inordinate amount of damage. As Invoker maxing out Exort really does pop damage very quickly and very heavily, especially pre-BKB.
Radiant's bottom tower's got problems.
Seems like this is
also pretty good.
Free tier 2 tower.
Middle tower
Nothing they can do about it. Faceless Void has still Chronosphere up and ready, so they can take the fight. There's tier 1 tower standing on the top. This is the rotation that Tempo wants to make.
Char trying to buy as much time for Nyx's Spectre as possible. Climbing up the ladder a little bit, 7,000 net worth now, just lagging behind the Centaur and Invoker a touch.
Tower is under attack.
But they're grouping up from Tempo is all around Krillat.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
Mixes out a couple of Venom wards and TPs the hell out of there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nobody to defend the tower. Sunstrike scouting nobody but trees, and yet another free objective. Tempo take control of pretty much the entire map.
Radiant's bottom tower's got problems.
Oh, this is a nice item for Invoker. Clumsy net, so you can keep people inside the meteor. And also Tusk cannot use Snowball.
Well, that's a good point. Nice blink dodge. DK away from the tornado. Tier 1 tower, 80 HP. Could just get denied. Tempo not worried particularly about it just yet.
I'm getting the same feelings from the game number 1 where HellRaisers just want to farm. They need to catch up, but they have, you know, Faceless Void. They have Invoker who's getting closer to the Aghanim Scepter. So it's a bit of a different game, and Tempo in this game can actually make
Radiant
aggressive
just denied their
rotations.
middle tower.
They spot out a Radiant Courier bottom, but they don't see Mitch just yet until now. Observer ward right above his head. But yeah, it looks like HellRaisers not too bothered about going in on a Centaur. Like you're saying, they'd much rather just pressure an
Radiant's
objective that they can
bottom
freely
tower's got
shove,
problems.
keep the Spectre farming
Radiant
bottom.
structures have been snow
DK's
fortified.
dragon form has worn out.
Rush dropping low quickly, so that's gonna be Aegis for your Faceless Void. HellRaisers, they're not even
Not much
aware about this one.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Either not aware about it, or realizing that they probably can't go and fight into it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Invoker, halfway dags now. Cataclysm is coming. When you pair that up with the Chronosphere, Tempo's teamfight abilities become amplified tremendously as King R is just immediately snapped up with a blink stomp from Centaur. Didn't even need the backup of the Dark Willow, really.
I might be wrong here, Gary, but I don't think I've seen a false promise being used yet.
I don't believe so. It's been a real rough one. Chasing Enchantress. She's level 10, reasonably tanky, honestly, and the move in onto the Tusk comes. They got the roots and the stuns. Lil, no one's going to Lil you alone. Chasing from Mitch, and it looks like they're also going to try and go in onto this Spectre who's haunting around, jumping back and forth, but Nyx is picked off by that double edge, and the Sunstrike just missing. Lil is escaping, but no blink on Centaur means he will be able to wander off.
So they left Tusk and went for a bigger target instead. Also, Spectre to use the haunt there. It seems like Tempo will pick up 4 bounty runes on top of that.
And a kill onto Phonic. He was deep behind enemy lines in the Radiant Triangle, and we've got Tempo having a 10,000, 11,000 now net worth lead. Still holding on to the Aegis for a good 3.5 minutes. Faceless Void will have Manta Style done in a second. And all of the pieces of this puzzle coming together nicely. HellRaisers still need more time. They want the Spectre to get online. Dragon Knight, it doesn't feel like he's really had much of an impact this game. But once he's got BKB, potentially you've got that big, strong teamfight initiator just to jump into the mix. Find the catch onto the Void. Now into the Dire Triangle.
Very low on mana as Chronosphere up and that Aegis. Once again,
Cyclone
they
on
found Tusk. Yeah, he's very dead. Organic against Tusk. Very effective.
Yules into Tornado, into kill on Phonic, who was hiding in the trees. 18-6. This is all a really one-way street here. Tempo just cruising to victory.
Dire's bottom tower.
Aghanim Scepter completed on Invoker, Cataclysm, with Faceless Void, Chronosphere.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
Oracle already struggled. Like, his positioning was not the greatest in this game. A bit late with the TP rotations. Now, if he gets caught inside a Chronosphere or just a hoof stomp, he's dead.
Straight up there.
Dire's bottom
Dragon
tower
Knight
is
trying his
shattered to
hardest.
little pieces.
He's
Radiant's
pushed this top
tower
lane with his armor
deserves
all
just
the
as
way
much
out,
help as
but
Dire's
it looks
bottom
like
tower
high ground
needs
time is
to
here.
go.
Tempo, the catapult wave, and a big juicy wave at that. Coming up towards the tier 3, nice glyph. The creeps alive. And Krillat still with an Aegis for a minute and a half. And Bolden feeling there's nothing he can do wrong at this moment. Might even consider just jumping and chronoing a Spectre if he sees her. They're now not going to go for Funnick or King R. And lane of Barracks is just being shredded here. There's nothing that HellRaisers can or want to do, and they're getting jumped on. Straight onto the Funnick Venno. 45 seconds. And HellRaisers, they've got King R in the fountain. Lil is cutting waves down bottom lane, trying to cut their losses, mitigate as much of this pushing strength that Tempo are shoving towards them.
Just as much help as
23 minutes in, they've taken down 2 lanes of Barracks.
HellRaisers might just call this game if they want to take any fight. These are 2 set of Raxes. There it is. I mean, I know HellRaisers. I've seen them play, and I know when they're going to GG out.
Oh, Cataclysm, Sunny's dead up top. Spectre has haunted in towards the mid lane, but GG has already been called.